Hello and welcome to Climbing Daily. We've released a new climbing training series on EpicTV with Catalyst Climbing. Now Catalyst is run by Parkinson and Neil Gresham, and they help to train climbers for indoor and outdoor climbing. It's a great company and a great concept, and I'll let them explain a bit more.
Hello, I'm Parkinson.
Neil Gresham.
And we're at Vauxhall East today to talk about Catalyst Climbing. So Catalyst is a company which I and my business partner founded a year ago. It's a team of coaches working at a range of centres around London. And mostly what we've worked on is developing a series of functional training exercises to develop kind of the harder to measure aspects of climbing, like improving technique or improving mindset and concentration whilst climbing. And then as of about a month or so ago, Neil and I have been talking about this for a while. I'm very, very excited that I'm now working with a hero of mine, Neil, who is sort of coming on board as co-head coach with me.
That's right. No, it's a really, for me, really exciting collaboration. I feel things have gone about circle. I mean, not least because I used to operate down here on the London scene, and Louis is now the big player here.
Neil coached me when I was young, so it's full circle for me. It's just lovely.
Yeah, I remember this sort of fresh-faced boy coming to me, full of enthusiasm, full of strength, full of talent, and here he is now, on the coaching scene. It's hard to describe just how different things were back in the day when I started up in climbing. I mean, there was no such thing as a climbing coach. There were only instructors, and these were guys who taught you how to tie into your rope and belay and be safe. They didn't teach you how to climb harder. There were 3 national magazines. They had no information about training. And I was just desperate for information. And so when I got to the point where I moved to Sheffield and met some of the top climbers, felt like I knew a bit more, I started writing articles. I was the first sort of columnist for a British climbing magazine about training, and then that naturally led me into coaching because people started asking me for training programs, people started asking me for sessions, and I was doing stuff with them at the wall. I didn't even use the term coach, but that's kind of what I was doing, and things just developed from there. And then more people started to get into it, and the whole thing started to gain traction. But that was back in sort of 1995, 96, and I've been at it continuously ever since. There's a lot of similarities in our approach. For a start, we believe very much in practicing what we preach. We're really keen climbers. We push ourselves pretty hard. We're dead enthusiastic about what we do.
Yeah. So the aim of Catalyst really is to take the wealth of experience of climbing and coaching that we've gained over our combined couple of decades and turn it into a really easy to understand and really easy to perform syllabus for people to use. For example, we've got loads to talk about with dynamic movement or something like that. And it's really interesting looking at how can we turn all of this knowledge that we've got and all of this training into just one easy to understand 15-minute exercise that anyone can pick up and do, and which is appropriate for multiple levels and, really importantly, really fun for everyone to do.
Yeah, when I was first looking at what Louis had put together, I was more interested in what he'd left out than what he'd included. There's so much that you could say that you can easily just completely overflood people, and what I've learned over the years with coaching, that it's about the kind of delivering the silver bullet, the important message.
This is what we talked about a lot, that a great deal of the work we do at Catalyst is about communication skills and delivering the knowledge that we have, rather than just focusing on gaining more and more and more complicated in-depth knowledge about climbing.
So the thing to take into consideration is Catalyst is working in a couple of different ways. You've got the group sessions, but then also the coaches are running one-to-ones, and what you can offer in a one-to-one environment is very different to what you can offer in a group environment. Now, both those types of coaching have an advantage. A lot of people love the sociable aspects of a group session and the fun of meeting other climbers. Some people prefer that individual focus from the one-to-one. Obviously, in a one-to-one session, it's going to be more bespoke. The coach is going to be really trying to find out what your strengths and weaknesses and goals and needs are, whereas in a group session, it's more about experiencing different things that some which you may know already, others which you won't, and it's about kind of just solidifying your knowledge and practicing stuff. So when I started working with Louis, he already had in place some fully operational drills, mainly focused around movement skills, but also a few quite simple sort of training things as well. What I really liked about his philosophy, and it's funny, you shouldn't judge a book by its cover, because a lot of people see Louis and the power and the cut loose and all this sort of thing, they think he's into his training. But he's absolutely hit it right for beginners and low intermediates, because he's enforcing good movement and good technique, and that is at the stage where when I got involved, that was really what Catalyst was predominantly about.
Yeah.
The training stuff was all on the climbing wall. There was no fingerboards, no campus boards, none of this and that. He was teaching people to be a good climber first, and that, I think, that's what underpins the philosophy of Catalyst, because Louis learnt the hard way. He was one of these climbers who started off super strong and really struggled to learn techniques subsequently, and I know from when he first came to me for coaching, you know, he put a ton of work into that. He totally turned himself around as a climber, and he's put all that stuff into Catalyst, and I think that's the real value of it. Very excitingly, I've been developing a benchmarking project.
He's nervous about it.
Yeah.
It's really cool. It's a really clever way of doing it.
The cat is finally coming out the bag. I've been working with the guys at Beastmaker, with Dan Varian, and we've been putting together a benchmarking system, and the hallmark for this is that it's quick, it's simple, and it's easily available, because, hey, everyone's got a Beastmaker, haven't they? So it's a way that you can just measure up your strength and endurance super quick, so you can learn, you can track your own progress, or you can compare yourself to our data pool as well. And of course, you know, benchmarking's no use unless you're going to use that information to help you put a training program together. And of course, this is something that some climbers will do on their own, but equally this is something that we want to help them with as Catalyst. And we have coaches here that are going to be involved in that process. Myself and Louis are going to be involved. And we have a system that basically uses the benchmarking results to steer training programs. And I think that's going to be really powerful for climbers.
So if you're a new climber and you're wanting to get into, or just learn a bit more about either movement skills or how to train in a safe and sometimes exciting way, or a more structured way through the training plans that Neil will be doing, loads of different options. You can either come to the regular group classes we do, which are like 1 hour long, mixed ability, and we do a load of the functional training exercises, and they're split up into, sometimes it's a technique class, sometimes it's a confidence training class, sometimes it's specifically just power training or endurance training or conditioning. There's like a huge range of options, and you can either buy like a membership and you get like unlimited access to all the classes, or you can book a private lesson, and then you can pick any of the team of coaches. You can tell them where to meet you, when, and then you can just set up a regular meeting for just like a one-to-one thing with a coach. Or then you can also go through this entire thing of having the training sessions with the coach, running alongside your benchmarking and your training plan, and it kind of just all fits together nicely. So kind of whatever you're wanting, we've kind of got it covered nowadays.
So if you want to find out more about Catalyst, just go to the website below.
And get excited about the upcoming series, because we're demonstrating some of the exercises we've got. Should be exciting watching. Enjoy.
The first video in that series was released last week, and there's loads more to come. So make sure you click on the link in the description below to check it out. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.